All right, guys. Can everybody hear me out there? I think I might be having some connection issues. Let me know if you can hear me. Cheers, Sugar Kitty. RJ, thanks for joining. Chip. David Tanko, thanks for coming on. Jim. Okay, Jim says I sound good. Thanks for joining us, Jim. I'm showing my little connection going in and out, so I don't know what's going on with my internet connection here tonight. Sandy, thanks for joining us. Dave Vogelsang. All right, guys. So tonight I got a couple of guests. The couple from Buffalo Bourbon Enthusiasts, Brian and his wife, are going to be joining us. They're backstage, and I'm going to go ahead and bring them on.
Howdy.
Welcome, guys.
Seems like we just did this.
Yeah. So, everybody, you guys, why don't you introduce yourselves to the audience?
I'm Brian.
I'm Debbie.
And
we're the Buffalo Bourbon Enthusiasts.
So I've asked them to come join us today. I started following their channel a little while ago. Actually, Brian had reached out about a specific bottle, the one he's got right there. Yep.
Sasquatch.
And that's when I found his channel and started following him, and then saw that they actually know someone I know that I've met before, Buffalo Lou, who I did a barrel pick with, and he was on your channel. I saw him on your channel, so I started giving you a follow and watching some of your videos.
Well, we appreciate that. Thanks.
Yeah, Buffalo Lou's a great guy.
He's working, so he can't join us today.
Okay, Sugar Kitty. So I'm guessing maybe you know Sugar Kitty. I think he's saying that. Where is he seeing?
Recognize.
Yeah. So I'm guessing he knows your channel. Yeah, so I just thought I'd have you guys on, and obviously Buffalo Bourbon Enthusiasts. It's not because you like Buffalo Trace, right?
Yeah.
I don't dislike it, but it's not named after that.
Yeah. So that's actually, I am starting tonight with the Buffalo Trace kosher rye recipe. That's what I'm starting with.
Okay, nice. We actually did.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. We actually did a blind with that. I believe it was Dave Vogelsang gave us some samples. I'm pretty sure it was Dave. 90% chance.
Dave's the man.
Dave's actually on. I saw him on here earlier. So why don't you tell us a little bit about your channel? Cheers, Chris.
Okay. I don't know. We people like to watch us because we argue and almost kill each other. Because we're married, and we have a good time. We like to do reviews. Our tasting notes aren't that serious. They're like the everyday person kind of thing. We have fun. We like to do blinds. I always like to make bottle guesses, and I'm wrong. And we got a tournament going right now, a 100 proof tournament. Couple more rounds in the first, couple more matchups in the first round. Yeah, I'm hogging it all. I thought you wanted to say something.
I had a long day.
Okay.
Tom Black.
I
don't know what's going on there, but I don't. I'm not seeing you on camera, so I don't care if you're wearing pants or not. I'm sorry. I was just reading the comment. So.
Who's that?
Tom Black, he said, the bourbon legends told me I had to start wearing pants when doing bourbon tubes, so I can't stay long.
Now we definitely need a picture.
Tom's a great guy, too. RJ, we enjoy your silver belly that has opened up nicely that we got from you.
Mm-hmm. Not bad.
RJ, you got a Sasquatch store pick. I think the one I got is, a pick as well from Sealbox.
Yeah, that's the one we got.
Yeah, Tracy was nice enough actually to pick that up for me, one of my Patreons. She's usually on. I had mentioned I was looking for it because we don't have it in Ohio. We don't have short barrel in Ohio. Yeah. So she managed to pick that up and get that to me, and I appreciate that greatly.
We don't have it in New York either.
Yeah, we don't get it here either. We got about 4 or 5 maple finished, and one of these days, you have so many things that you want to do and need to find out the time to do it. We want to do a maple blind. I don't know if doing a maple blind in the summer is the thing to do. Might wait till the fall.
Yeah, go good in the fall, right?
He just needs to stop buying bourbon so we can start drinking some more of this stuff.
Yeah, that's hard. It's hard to stop buying, even when you got plenty. I understand.
Oh, I know. He's got me running around tomorrow looking for stuff.
Well, in Buffalo, theoretically, the Star Hill Farms is going to start dropping. That hit in Ohio, didn't it, last week?
I'm not sure if it was dropping here or not. I don't have it. I have tried it, and I just thought it was okay. I wasn't a huge fan personally.
Okay.
My wife liked it, though, so I'm sure when I see a bottle, we'll get one.
What's the price point on that? I have no idea.
I don't know. I'd have to go look at ohlq.com. So if you ever want to know MSRP for something, go to ohlq.com and look for it, because Ohio is a control state.
Right.
So pretty much everything's sold right there around MSRP.
I actually belong to, I hate calling it X, like the former Twitter, and on Reddit, there's Ohio chaser groups about what's dropping at every store. Because if I see stuff dropping, it's a couple hours and I'll be in Ohio, trying to steal stuff from you.
You can still do that on Reddit. Trevor, welcome, Trevor. Cheers. There's actually a raffle going on this week in Ohio. 3 different places they were doing a raffle for Double Eagle Very Rare, OFC, and that Buffalo Trace Prohibition Collection or whatever it's called. Right. And they were also dropping like each barrel proofs and single barrels and stuff for people to purchase at the raffles. I did not get up to the one closest to me, but he lives down in Southern Ohio. He's there right now, he says. So he's at the raffle. Good luck, Trevor.
How do they work their raffles?
So you go in and you basically get a number, you get a ticket,
okay,
right? And they're gonna spin it and draw a ticket, and if it's your ticket, you get to pick which bottles left that you want to purchase. So
yeah, well, I thought maybe they did something a little different than what we do up here too. We have one liquor store. We have one liquor store. It's really cool. He does the mystery bags. He'll have a table where you could see what's on there. Then he'll have another table where everything's covered by a bag, and they're all the same height. And if you get called, you take the brown paper bag and take a chance on what you get. That's a lot of fun.
I've seen a couple. I've seen those before. I haven't seen them in Ohio, but we've run across a store that did that in Tennessee. They would do those.
That's cool. Bags. I mean, they're always a good bottle. Whatever you get, you're going to be happy with.
So
cheers, Brad. Brad's drinking Stag. Cheers, Brad.
Can't go wrong with Stag.
Hey, Canadian Chris.
Trevor said he got the each Taylor barrel proof and the Caribou Crossing. Nice, Trevor. Good job. That's awesome.
If you had a chance to purchase the OFC, I imagine that's several grand.
Yeah, it's like 2,500, I think, something like that.
Would you drop the coin on that?
I wouldn't personally. No, I wouldn't do it. I couldn't bring myself to spend that much.
That's tough. I know.
Yeah. Same with the Double Eagle. My partner Devin, he's not here. He's been gone since February. He's in the military. He's been deployed overseas.
Okay.
But last year he went to this raffle, same type of thing, and he actually won the Double Eagle Very Rare and got it. So he's got a Double Eagle Very Rare.
Has he tried it?
Not yet. I think he's going to wait till he gets home from deployment. So
okay.
And when's
I'm
that?
Go ahead and open up my Sasquatch and have a pour.
Now, what branch of the service is he in?
The Army. He's in the Army. Yep.
Okay.
So
I enjoy this. This is good.
So what's the bourbon market like up there in Buffalo?
I call it the Wild West.
That's the Wild West.
Yes, you can find whatever you want. But what do you want to pay? Now, I don't want to pay a ton. So I'm not going into the museum. Once in a while I go in just for a chuckle. But you can find stuff reasonably priced if you look hard enough or people, whatever,
That sounds like maybe like in Kentucky or Tennessee, kind of the same thing. It's most stuff's marked up. You can maybe find a store here or there that has stuff pretty well priced, but when there's no control, then a lot of them are, especially for the Buffalo Trace or some of the more allocated bottles that people, old Fitzgerald, stuff like that.
Right.
A lot of times, way more than I want to pay out of pocket when I see them when we're down in Kentucky.
And you can't be afraid to negotiate, but you have to know what you're willing to pay, what it's worth, and things like that, and walk into the store with cash.
Yeah. I'm a little spoiled being in Ohio. So like, I know with the bottles, a lot of times I'll hold out until they're going to drop here. See, Ohio, we have the price control. It's MSRP, but stuff comes late. Like other states around us will all be selling it. And we like the old Fitz 7-year. I've seen it drop all over the place. It still hasn't dropped in Ohio. They hold it back. It'll probably be sometime later this year. It's just, they wait to release stuff, but when they do, I know I can get it at retail.
Well, isn't it a mad rush then when they drop stuff? Everybody's just like running there. What are your chances of getting stuff then?
So the way they generally handle it, right, is when OHLQ, the Liquor Authority, releases, they release it to David. Thank you very much. I have not mentioned that. My bad. We are having a duck race tonight. For every $5 you donate in Super Chat, you get a duck in the race, and the winner will get to pick which mystery bag, A, B, C, or D, they want. So each bag has a blind flight in it. So if you want a chance to win a duck race, every $5 in Super Chat gets you an entry. But OHLQ, when they drop, usually for the whole week, all the liquor stores are going to get the same allocated drop. So it's a matter of knowing like your local stores, what day they get their delivery, what time they release it, stuff like that. And then, so you have the people who, we call them flippers here in Ohio, all they do is go around all day to as many stores as they can, getting the allocated bottles to sell on secondary. Right. Yeah. So it makes it tough. A lot of times, like when I go out, it's on Saturdays because every Saturdays, all Giant Eagle, Acme, and Kroger's in the state drop at 9 a.m. They have a contract with the state, so they hold it till Saturday. So that's usually where I'm at. I look at a Giant Eagle or something on a Saturday to try and get the release.
Don't they limit it like one per person when you come
one allocated bottle per transaction? Yep.
God bless you.
Excuse me. So not to say like if there's 3 allocated there, you only get a choice on one of them.
Correct. Yep. You can only get one. So if they have like Antique, E.H. Taylor, and I don't know, Eagle Rare or something, you can only pick one. Those are I name those because those are common ones we get.
What happens if you walk out the door and come back in? No?
Depends on the store. So that is up to the store if they want to let people cycle the line or not. Mm-hmm. Some stores do, some stores don't. But the really only rule is only one bottle per transaction. So you can't get all 3 at once. You only get one. Some stores let you get the end of the line and come back through. Some don't.
Yeah, well, that's fair.
Okay, so I'm going to interject. I think I sent a sample of this to Tracy, Silly Yorkie. And you might have this because you're in Ohio. This is an Ohio product. It's Watershed's Fall Finishing Series, the Maple. Have you tried that?
I don't have the maple one. I've tried the Nocino, and I have some other Watersheds. Watershed's not my favorite distillery. I'll be honest. Michael, thank you. I got your entry.
This isn't as sweet, right? So I mean, I'm not saying one's better than the other. I'm just the differences. This one's the Sasquatch was really sweet to me. Deb said it wasn't. This isn't as sweet. I'm getting a little oak and maybe tobacco, and Deb's going to be like, I already don't like it.
Not a tobacco fan.
Okay. Just in general, I have not been a fan of Watershed. I've even done a pick there. I do like the Sasquatch, though. I think it's because it's not just the maple, but also the toasted barrels gives it a little extra sweetness. It is very sweet.
Yeah. We went to RD1, and
you did RD1 in Ohio, right?
Yeah, Jim knows. Watershed is my kryptonite. Yep.
Yeah.
We do have a pick coming theoretically for a store, but nice. This is a 200 ml, and this is a cast strength RD1 oak and maple wood, and we really enjoyed it while we were there. And it's something you can't get out and about. Not the cast strength.
It was an experimental barrel.
We actually had our channel. We just did our pick came live last Friday. We did a pick at Blue Note. and that's actually for sale on our site now. And I'm actually going to. I don't think I've ever shown our bottle shop on the live. I'm going to actually do that. Let's see. So we do have our own bottle shop, thewhiskeysippers.com, and our barrel picks, all the ones we're doing when they're released, they're being released through the store. Mm-hmm. So like if you come here, you can see this is the Blue Note pick that's now available. And that is the tater sticker that comes with it.
We just get that. We just ordered that. We just ordered that.
Oh, did you? Okay. Oh, yeah. Awesome. Yeah. So we did this. We did this pick a couple of months ago, and it just got to the warehouse last week. So it just came available for sale.
So Tracy messaged me on our Discord and asked me if she could post about this. And like, yeah, sure. I mean, what's the big deal, right? So then she's talking with me, and we're having a conversation about it. And she's pretty awesome. So I tried pimping it as hard as I can. So end up selling, 7 bottles, because if you do 6, you get free shipping.
Right.
And then my buddy got also, you get other stuff when you go there. There was like 2 prideful goats.
Yeah. So you do get free shipping on 6 bottles. And you get half off shipping on 3 bottles, and it can be any combination. It doesn't just have to be the barrel pick. So like if you went and you added like 1 barrel pick, and then you decided, what else do you have? You can go to you can look at the bourbon, the rye, or just look at everything. And I just put bottles that I found interesting on here. I don't put the bottles that everybody really has, like regular Jack Daniels and stuff, but I've I don't really, when I got my warehouse that I work through, they have like their base price, and most people add like a 15-20% markup. I don't do that. I add just like $1 or $2 directly. So that's why my prices are like lower on some of this stuff. And that's really about as low as I can go, because they still have their price, and I'm just working off what they offer.
Right.
But
right.
So you could add any 3 bottles, and then you would get the discount.
I could have sworn, like, before I placed the order, a couple days before, my buddy was like, "Hey, check this out," and the straight from the barrel was like $195, and I come back a couple days later and it's $186, and I'm like, I'm there.
Yeah. So I when I talked to the distributor, there was a little bit of discount I could do in there, so I just put that on, so I lowered the price.
Yeah, that's a great price.
Yeah,
really good.
But yeah, so but the barrel picks now for sale, as well as what other bottles are out there. And I'm actually going to pretty soon be adding cigars to the shop, and I'll be doing bundles with bottles and cigars. So
Brian likes making the tater sticker too.
What's that? The tater sticker?
Yeah.
Brian likes making them too.
It was a progression. Like the first one was so, and then you get better at it.
We're
still waiting like for 3 of them to come in. I don't know what's happening with them.
Yeah, I don't think those picks will ever come in.
So we thank you, Donald. So I also have a pick, Hard Truth. It was an amazing. I don't know if you've ever had the Hard Truth Sweet Mash Rye.
You're kind of breaking up a little bit.
Hard Truth Sweet Mash Rye.
Yeah, I've made some Hard Truth before. Yeah,
we did a barrel pick of that a couple of months ago, but the barrel won't be in until August, so we have to wait till then for that pick. It's a long wait.
Now, where do you do them out of?
Cheers.
Oh, cheers.
Yeah, so I work with a liquor store it's in Texas, so they can distribute to everywhere, but like 4 different states. Mm-hmm. So I don't have a liquor license, obviously, but when you're making the order, you're really making an order to the liquor store. You're paying the liquor store, right, and they ship it out. Yeah.
So let me ask you this, because I thought about this, but I'm waiting until we get bigger. And I would think, in my mind, I would want to be bigger than obviously my channel, and your channel is bigger than ours. I would like 2,000 or 3,000 subscribers before I thought about that. Because if I would go through like shared pour or something and it didn't move,
Yeah, you have to buy the remainder of the barrel.
right? So how does that work with you? Same thing, or
To be determined. We'll see what happens in 6 months. So
okay?
we'll see if I can get it sold in 6 months.
Okay. Well, I tried to help you out a little bit. I know seven is
Yeah.
not a whole lot, but you know.
Yeah, well, every little bit helps. So, but yeah, I'm just trying to get word out there that it's available. The people who ordered last week, it's actually started arriving. I've seen some of the shipment notices that is showing up, and like my order's supposed to be here tomorrow, so I know they're coming in. And my hope is that when people start trying it, word of mouth around the community, and I know I'll be giving away samples and stuff like that of it. So, hopefully when people try it, they'll like it enough they're going to want to buy it.
Sure.
Okay, I'm just going to ask the wife real quick. You drinking the Watershed?
Mm-hmm.
Don't care for it?
It's okay. I prefer the short barrel.
She likes the sweetness. Okay.
What's the proof on this one?
My wife loves maple finished.
Yeah, I'm an okay fan of it, but that one was. I like a mild finish. I don't like it in your face.
The first maple finish we had, well, second with the Decadence was the first one. The Knob Creek thing. You know what I'm talking about? Knob Creek,
the smoked maple.
Smoked maple.
That's my wife's favorite.
Okay, that's to me. That's just disgusting. I can't drink that.
So it's super sweet. Yeah, she likes it because it's sweet. Available bottles of the Blue Note. Yeah, there's a lot available. It was a really high yield barrel, so there's over 100 left. So there's plenty left.
What did you say was the age statement on that? I know in the video you tasted it at 4.5.
Yeah, like it was like 4 years, like 7 months. So it was right around there, around 4.5.
Oh, okay.
And how many bottles did you get out of the barrel?
234.
That's
so
not too bad.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
More than I thought. I was expecting more like 180, 190. So I was a little surprised when it passed 200.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe because of the age. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But
in the angel share.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I was a little surprised on the yield, but it is what it is. So we got about 140, 150 bottles left.
Oh, that was good then. Halfway through.
They're moving.
That's halfway
through. They moved pretty good that first week. Like I said, it's word of mouth, trying to get it out there.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, so you got that one, and you got the Hard Truth coming. Did you have any before that?
Yeah, so we did. Our first pick was a new riff pick.
Okay.
And we didn't do the full barrel at New Riff. It was our first pick. We weren't even at 1,000 subscribers at this point. We started this last year, before January. So we did like a partial barrel. We did a half barrel, and we sold that. We pre-sold it, and so we knew it was sold out because we pre-sold it ahead of time.
Okay, nice.
And it was actually a really, really good pick. And I'm disappointed. I'm down to my last little bit of it because I wish I had more bottles. It was a really good pick.
Was it? I'm sorry. Was that a bourbon or a rye? You said
it was a bourbon.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a bourbon. And I'm a big New Riff fan, so I'm a big New Riff fan for sure.
Yeah, we were there once, but they were remodeling, so it was kind of not quite the experience we wanted. They were moving the upstairs to the downstairs and all this craziness.
Yeah, it's a. They did go through that period though. But have you ever done it? If you do a barrel pick there, their barrel pick experience is very nice. They do a really good job on it. It's a lot of fun. They make it a lot of fun. So if you're looking to do a barrel pick, especially people out there, if you're looking like a small group, I always recommend New Riff because you don't have to do the full barrel. So if you just got like a small group of 20 people and you want to go do a barrel pick, you can go do like a quarter barrel at New Riff.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Not bad.
Yeah, so that's a good one to go. Yeah, Brad, that Augusta 15 pick. So Brad did a pick with another channel with an Augusta 15. It only yielded 72 bottles. That's because it was 15 year. 15 year and really high proof.
What was that run in a bottle?
I think it was like 250 or something like that, or maybe more. He'll probably tell us here in a second. I can't remember exactly. It was expensive.
Yeah, the Augustas, they're always the price is a little bit more elevated than I always want. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel you. I know what you mean.
Like Buckner 17 or whatever, you're looking at almost 300 then, or whatever, 400, I think.
Oh, 320.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I knew it was expensive.
138 proof. The proof was nice on there.
I mean,
Yeah, it's almost hazmat.
there's just so much that I have to open. I buy so much. Just recently, a store had a barrel pick, a Seal Box 16 buff turkey, and it was a good price at $275 because usually they go 300, $325. But
yeah,
I'm just spending so much money,
Yeah, that Augusta 15 was a buff turkey too. I think that's another reason it was so much. But yeah, they're expensive. They get up there. I don't have one. I've passed on several. They're just a little too rich for me. The only time I've dropped that much on a bottle was Russell's 15.
Okay.
Well, we dropped a good dime on the River Roots buff turkey one. That was pricey.
Yeah, those are expensive too. Yeah, all the buff turkey is.
Yeah, that was a lot.
Well, really, River Roots bottles are pretty much expensive for any of them. I think they charge a pretty good.
We want to go to River Roots. That's on our bucket. Oh, now she's just destroying everything here. Sorry.
That's like an hour from me. Like River Roots isn't that far away from where I live.
That's kind of Clevelandish, right? Or no?
Yeah, it's right up by Cleveland. Yep.
Yeah. I'd like to go there, and there's so many things I want to do, and not enough time, not enough. I'm not going to say not enough money, not enough time to open every bottle and drink them, and I don't mind sharing things out.
Well, prices have become so expensive for everything nowadays. It's like you almost have to kind of, what am I actually going to get? Because everything's $200 on the special releases and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm going to be looking for, in the area, the Found North Helldiver 2. There'll be like 2 or 3 stores that have it. And I got Helldiver 1, which I haven't even opened yet. And I think that was a yield of like 2,800 bottles or something. It was something insanely low.
Yeah, apparently they have a visitor. Just use this as a chance to remind everybody we are doing a duck race. For every $5 in Super Chat, you get a duck in the race. The winner will get a chance to pick a mystery blind bag. See what they get. So that duck race is going to be later.
Okay, sounds good. I'm kind of seeing in the chat.
I think somebody there knows you, Ralph. Looks like. Cheers, Ralph.
Yeah, he's behind the scenes sometimes, and we put him on camera, but unfortunately, that's when the microphones crapped out on us. So we are going to release the video, but the audio isn't optimal.
Tom Black said Bourbon Hall got a sample of the Helldiver 2. His review is enough to withdraw my raffle entry. Ooh, that didn't sound good.
Tom, how much did you pay for it?
No, he didn't get it. Bourbon Hall got a sample of it and did a review. And he said the review was enough to make him not want to win the lottery.
Okay. Yeah, I don't even enter the lottery because after you pay for taxes and shipping, I have a better chance of getting it cheaper in Buffalo.
Now we did. My wife managed to get in a couple of weeks ago when they did the President's Choice release online. She managed to get in, and she got a President's Choice rye. So we do have one waiting for us down in Kentucky to go pick up of the President's Choice rye release.
I had so much going on that day. I thought about just going to, because they were releasing it in Kentucky on Saturday, was it?
Yeah, it was the 20th.
They said they were also releasing it to select stores nationwide too.
The 14th. It was the same day I did my 1-year live stream. I think the 14th.
Okay.
Yeah, but they did it online. Yeah, my wife was able to get it. We got to go pick that up. But that was a big weekend because it was also right when they did the Father's Day release at Four Roses.
Okay.
At the same time. So, and I think that next day is when they released the Eagle Rare 12 at Buffalo Trace. So that was a big weekend to not be in Kentucky.
Yeah, I had a lot of lotteries locally and parties to go to, and didn't really get much, but it is what it is.
Now I'm going on a trip. I'm actually leaving in the morning, and I'm headed on a road trip that's not bourbon related for once. Normally, we go to distilleries or we're going barrel picks. We're doing stuff like that. So what our traveling is. But
Right.
this weekend, we're actually headed down to West Virginia. We're going to a Bigfoot festival. So
Okay.
that's like the
So
other thing we like besides like doing whiskey is we like kind of like the supernatural stuff. So
okay.
that's going to be fun. We went to a festival in Colorado in Estes Park 2 years ago, and I think it was 2 years ago, and that was, or maybe it was last year. I don't remember now. That's the last time we really done anything non-bourbon related.
But on your sticker, because I looked at your promo or your thumbnail, whatever you want to call it, for the live stream, and I saw the Sasquatch or Bigfoot, whatever. And then I went and looked at your sticker, and isn't that Sasquatch or Bigfoot on there also?
That's actually supposed to be just like a big shaggy dog.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah, that's just supposed to be a dog. The booze hound is who that's supposed to be.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I'll bring that back up. Let's see.
I thought you guys were running away from Bigfoot or something. I don't know what's going
Run
on.
around from the booze hound. So
Okay.
the idea behind it is, since this was Memphis and it's Blue Note, right, famous for blues music, there's a really
Right.
famous blues song called Hellhound on My Trail. So on the sticker, I did Booze Hound on Our Trail, just playing off the name of that song.
Okay.
And that's supposed to be the Booze Hound. So he's supposed to be like a big, shaggy, drunk dog. chasing
Okay. Now I appreciate it more.
So yeah,
So we're going to Austin in like 2 weeks. We're leaving on the 8th. So we're going to die because it's going to be hot.
It's going to be hot. Trevor,
Well-
I've actually been down to Point Pleasant twice. We've been down there and we went to the bunkers where Mothman was supposedly sighted. We went down there and explored the bunkers, and we've been to the museum and everything down there in Point Pleasant, West Virginia.
Did you ever watch the cheesy show Supernatural? Because we actually got hooked into that.
I've watched every season. Love that show.
Yeah. And I thought they were coming back with it, like a reboot or something.
I heard that too. I don't know. I think they were supposed to do like one more season or something, but I don't know if they will.
Yeah. But still, Austin had their distillery only release. So I went in and I was able to get a bottle. So when we're down there, I'll be at the distillery so I can grab it. So
Oh,
I thought
nice.
that was pretty cool,
I like Still Austin. I like their the cast strength, Still Austin's, the single barrel
Right.
cast strengths. The Tanninger, it's pretty good. Not as I don't think I liked it as much as other people were saying they did,
Okay.
but
Thank
I
you.
thought it was okay.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, everyone was gaga over it. Deb wants it, but I thought I don't know. It wasn't rocking my world. I don't know if it was the proof point or whatever. But
I actually got a video I'm editing now. We did a cigar batch blind, and that ended up coming in like third. So it wasn't as good as I maybe was expecting it to be.
a lot of the cigar batches are higher proof too. So if you're gonna, what is it, like 103 or 105 or
I think it's 106, but
106?
yeah, most of them were that high proof. Only one of ours was like at 120. All the rest were like 112 or under, it seemed like. So
Okay, yeah. I mean, we've done a couple of cigar blinds, and for me, Magnus won the first time, and the second time I said I'm not even putting it in there. And then sometimes people send us their own cigar blends, and it's just an interesting blind. The RY3 actually won for me last time. The RY3 rye cigar.
RJ said he did. He drank half his sample of the Tanager and then sent it away because it wasn't his jam. Yeah, I agree. I mean, it wasn't awful, but it certainly wasn't what I see for on secondary or what people were saying about it, in my opinion.
Right. I think my buddy, he's got like the definitive bunker of rare breed non-chill filtered.
Mm.
I think he traded that for a Tanager and maybe a couple bucks. People just go ape shit crazy over the rare breed non-chill filtered and would trade almost anything for it.
I mean, I love rare breed. I've had the non-chilled. I think it's better,
Yeah.
but not that much better. I mean, not enough that I'm going to pay a lot over MSRP for it.
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
we don't get it because of the the politics anymore. Canada not carrying American whiskey. We used to be able to get it the duty free because we're like 10 minutes from the border, and it would be like little under $35 American for a liter. You can't go wrong.
RJ said he's had better bottles for the price. I was happy to get the bottle and try it, though. I'm happy to try it too. A buddy of mine brought it to our 1 year celebration we did. I'm glad I got to try it. But I agree, there's better bottles.
I'm grabbing the bottle.
Yeah. Chip, it's really funny that you mentioned the Old Elk cigar blend, because that was one of the ones in our blind that did very, very well. The Old Elk did very well.
Okay, so that is Deb's favorite. Every time we do that, and every time I'm crapping on it, I'm like, Deb, come on. Like, because I get some weird note. I get like a cucumber or something bizarre. I don't usually get bizarre notes.
It was apricot. It was apricot to me all day.
This one's for you, RJ, right there.
Silver Belly?
Yeah.
Been eyeing RY3 for a bit now. So I've had several RY3s, at least samples of them. I like their cigar, and I like I had a toasted barrel rye or something from them. That's really good.
That's really good.
Yeah, I like the RY3 stuff. They also have an American light whiskey that I really want to get because I love American light whiskey, and I have not had the RY3 one yet.
When I was in San Diego, if you're ever in San Diego, like the store to go to is Crest Liquors, because everything else is like secondary crazy prices. So we had an awesome experience there, and they had a RY3 American light whiskey pick, and it was a 16 year. Most of them are 15 years, and I really loved it. But
I actually reached out to them about doing a barrel pick, but for the American light whiskeys, they told me you don't really do a barrel pick. You can get a barrel of it, but they just do the one barrel. It's like you don't get to go through multiple barrels and sample. So I didn't really like that.
Yeah, we brought in something, and we didn't pick it. I don't remember what we were sampling. I think it was just rye. But when they sent us these samples in, they sent us in all these other tons of bottles that, like, everything that they offered on the shelf, they sent in for samples, like just to try. And I was like, oh, okay, we're getting hammered tonight. We're just drinking all these. It was pretty cool. So I'm into RY3.
Mark, I wish I'd seen it. I've never seen the RY3 American light whiskey anywhere, but yeah, that's definitely one I would like to grab. But overall, I do like, I've said, their cigar cut I've liked, their toasted rye I've liked. So kind of like with short barrel, that's like different short barrel stuff besides the Sasquatch. I've tried, they had the Founders Hazmat release. I tried that. That's pretty good. And some single barrel. In fact, that same group that I did a pick with Bourbon Lou, the old Dominic pick, they also did a short barrel pick. I have that single barrel as well.
Is that the Bourbon Together group?
Bourbon Together group, yep.
Yeah, I got that. I think I got that bottle right here. I have yet to open it. I'm pretty sure this is it. Yep, Bourbon Together.
The Rockies pick.
Yep.
Yep. So it's pretty good. And yep, that's the one. So I've liked the short barrel stuff. The thing is, the short barrel stuff is like, mostly from what I've seen, a lot of it is Green River. I mean, they get Green River barrels and they age it in Georgia.
Okay.
Right? And that's the same thing as Blue Note. Blue Note is Green River. They contract with Green River. It ages in Green River for 1 year, then they ship it to Memphis, and it ages the rest of the time in Memphis. But it's the Green River mash bill. Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, I had a short barrel hazmat RJ. I don't know if it was a Father's Day pick though. It was a little grenade, a short barrel hazmat Founders or something like that. But it was hazmat.
I'm looking forward to your Blue Note.
Yeah, I'm excited to get it into. Like I said, I'm going to get samples out there for people. That'll be something I'll be giving away on my lives, or samples of that. And I've ordered some extra bottles, and I might be doing some special giveaways, get a bottle and stuff like that. It's pretty good. It's actually really good. It was a good pick. I like Blue Note though, so to me,
and,
good
for
Blue Note.
the price point, you can roll the dice on it, and
right.
because it was relatively cheap. I mean, after tax, I think it was like 52 or something.
Yeah, it was $51.99 for the bottle, and then on the website it depends where you live if you get taxed or not. It's that's a state thing,
Right.
So like I know here they didn't add a tax when I bought it here in Ohio, so $51.99. I had it priced not as good as I thought I could, for sure. I'm not really making anything on it. It's just trying to get it out there, trying to
Right.
build that base. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you. I understand.
What's my favorite cigar? I'm just starting to kind of get into cigars, but I had one the other day. It was a Macanudo, and I actually paired that with the Penelope cigar series, and man, it was a great pairing. So, and one thing we were talking about cigar batches. I found this out the other day. It kind of made me start thinking. So when we did that blind, almost every one of those cigar batches has like a kind of tobacco on the palate. I mean, it's pretty standard, right? Penelope didn't. The Penelope cigar series that's out, that just got released, doesn't really have a tobacco on the palate. So it really stood out as kind of different to me. And when I paired it with cigar, of course, I had tobacco from cigar. I picked it up there, and then it really brought out some sweetness in the Penelope. And when I was reading kind of like the breakdown of that cigar series from Penelope, it says on there that they did it along with some master cigar blenders for pairing. So I started thinking, do most of the cigar blends, are they meant to like replicate a cigar because they have that tobacco flavor, whereas this one is more an enhancement of a cigar? I don't know. It just kind of had me thinking. I kicked off a little thing on my Patreon about that.
I can't remember whose live stream I was watching, but Nancy Fraley was on there, and she was just talking about how people just make cigar blends or batches, and they think you're just supposed to have multiple finishes, but she actually tries to emulate the characteristics of cigars. And I mean, you'd have to watch it. I mean, because she's just so intense with her knowledge and descriptions of everything. But
I just poured a Four Roses barrel proof OBSO recipe. Yeah, so that's what I was talking about, though. Like with the other cigar batches, it all seemed like they tried to replicate the taste of a cigar, whereas with the Penelope, it didn't taste like a cigar when I drank it by itself at all. It just really enhanced when I was smoking the cigar.
So I don't smoke cigars, and I watched some reviews on the Penelope cigar, and the reviews weren't enough for me to say, hey, I want to try it. I'm kind of like, Penelope has to be pretty special in order for me to buy it. It seems like they're just going crazy with their finishes, and I feel like I'm the only one in America that thinks that way, because everyone, is like, you're crazy. And I'm like, well, that's what I'm thinking. I'm sorry.
I don't really like most of the Penelope stuff. I like the cigar session was okay, but when I had it with a cigar, it was much better. I like the 10-year single barrel I have is pretty good, but the Penelope I really like is the American Light Whiskey. That's really the only one I really, really like. Like, I'm not a fan of the Architect or like the barrel proof or 4 grain or any of that base lineup. I don't really care for.
I've been going to this one store, and they're under new ownership, and they say they want to be different than the owners before, and they had a Penelope American Light Whiskey, and they're selling it for $170. Like, and then they're like, but for you, I can give you a special deal for $150. I'm like, no way.
What was it for?
It was the Penelope American Light Whiskey.
Oh.
And it's like, for you, $150. I'm like, no. I mean, if you told me $130, then that would hurt me, and I would still think about it. Like, but someone bought it for $170, and it's people like that are freaking killing everyone else, because the store owners, you don't have to deal with that in Ohio. Know that someone's going to walk in and just pay whatever they're charging.
Yep. Mark Duffy says the Macanudo is a great place to start. He's talking about the cigar. If I find anything AJ Fernandez, buy it. New World, Enclave, my father's another solid lineup. Never heard of that one. So yeah, I'm gonna have to look into that, Mark. I am starting to explore more of the cigar world. So yeah, I am looking to try to learn more about that for sure. The American Light whiskey to me at 150, that's not a horrible price. I mean, it's like a 90 something dollar bottle here in Ohio. I mean, you're almost $100 out the door. So that's not a huge markup, honestly, at
Yeah.
150.
When I ever come across these, I look at MSRP, and then I got my texting crew, and I'll put it out to them, and they're like 1.25. Like I sometimes I buy bottles for trade because I know they're trade worthy. And I went into this one store and they had Old Fitz 8 from a couple of years ago, and it was like $350. It was $350.
That's too much. That's like I think it was like 160, 170 MSRP.
It's insane. I'm looking it up. I'm like, it used to be this. The MSRP back then was like 120. I'm like, let me talk to the owner, right? I'm like, this has been sitting on your shelves for a couple of years. And then he's like, well, what do you want to pay? And I always get in that conversation, right? And that's the most awkward conversation. What do you want to pay? Because you don't want to go too low, then you screw it.
Right.
So I'm texting my buddy. He's like, 175 is the most I would pay, which is still really high for that bottle. And I ended up paying 180. I probably could have went lower, but once you say this is what you're going to pay, you can't back out and say, nah, I want to go lower.
Nah, yeah, you can't change it after you're trying to haggle once you stay a price. Crappie, yeah, that's what I was talking about. The Penelope cigar that I was pairing with the cigar was that Penelope Cigar Sessions. Actually, the video I did on it, it gets released tomorrow. So the video that comes out tomorrow on our channel is about the Penelope Cigar Sessions. Mark, yeah, I'll definitely hit you up then and try to get some knowledge going. Like I said, I've done a few cigars. Basically, what I've done is we have a cigar place near here, and I'll go and I'll ask the guy, well, what should I drink with or what should I smoke with a bourbon? And he'll tell me what to buy. And I don't know if he, when you go in and ask, you're getting what they're wanting to sell you, really. But until I get more experience in it, I just kind of got to go with that.
I don't know. If I smoked a cigar first of all, I wouldn't be able to smoke a cigar in the house. And if I smoked it outside, Deb would probably like hose me down and strip me naked because it would stink of cigars.
I love the smell of a cigar. Speaking of trades, is a RR15 worth a Pappy yet? No, so, RR15 is not trading at Pappy level. When we're talking Pappy, I'm expecting you mean like the 15 or the 23 or something. So no, it's not at that level.
I don't mean to be rude, and you can always message me on the side, but you mentioned you got the Russell's 15. I can't remember what I got mine for. I want to say it was 245, 250 cash. That's
MSRP. That's MSRP.
Cash out the door. But then when the same owner was offering it to other people for 400 and stuff, you know what I mean? That stuff is common here.
Yeah, see, that doesn't happen here. It can't happen here.
Right.
Yeah. Chip, you grabbed a Penelope American Light Whiskey Hazmat at 18.5 years for 130. I'd pay that all day for a Hazmat Penelope American Light Whiskey. Absolutely. I'd pay 130 for the regular bottle, honestly. I like it that much. I've only got maybe a third of mine left. So it's one I really like. I really like that. And I'm talking this year's, the what was it, 17 year that came out this year?
Okay.
Really good.
Okay, so here's a tip for you. Not that you're ever going to buy it, because I got it for 200 instead of 250. Don't get the Wyatt Earp 13 year American Light Whiskey at 161 proof, because it's like drinking a hot, dirty ashtray. Okay. I am sampling the hell out of that bottle.
300 RR15, 400, no way. 400 for a RR15 that's below secondary right now. Honestly, I mean, they're going for more than that on secondary for the Russell's 15s. Mark, you bought a $400 filter to smoke inside. Well, I smoke on my deck. when I smoke a cigar, I generally I smoke outside on the deck. So the only time I smoked inside is during the college football playoffs, when the Buckeye would win a game, I'd have a cigar afterwards. I'm a big Buckeye fan. It became like my tradition. They win a playoff game, I smoke a cigar. You saw an American light whiskey for the low price of $4.99. I don't like it that much.
No,
That's
that's
way too much. Guys, so again, we are having a duck race. I'm going to be running the duck race here in just a few minutes. So if you want a chance to get in, every $5 in Super Chat, you get a duck in the race, and the winner will get to pick a bag. So get in for a last call for duck race if you want to get in. Answered your question. Maybe he's behind. He just saw it.
I have a question for you. You got 4 bags back there.
A, B, C, and D. Yes, sir.
And then there's like what, 4 samples in it or X amount of samples?
Each one has 3 2-ounce bottles.
Okay. So let me ask you this. You said it's a blind. Is it a blind because you're picking A, B, C, D and you don't know what's in the bag? Or is it a blind because it's not listed what's on the bottle and they have to open up an envelope and see what they're drinking afterwards?
No, so it's just a blind because they don't know what they're picking. They'll know once they get it. If they want to blind it on their own, they can, but each sample is labeled. Yeah.
Okay.
Mark said he's replacing his neighbor's Buckeye flag with a Michigan flag. You are an evil man, Mark. You're an evil, evil man. Chip, thank you very much. I got your entries.
So
the blinds are, and they're actual, like, I've tried to pair them like it's not 3. My wife said you can burn in hell, Mark. My wife's also, she went to Ohio State. She's a big Buckeye fan. Marty, I got you.
Are you more into college football or professional football?
Oh, college football by far. Love college football, love the tradition, love, like, it's more of a rivalry to me, even though, like, with I'm a Browns fan. The Browns have a great long rivalry with the Steelers, but that rivalry is not over 100 years old, like Ohio State, Michigan, right?
And the Browns have been pretty bad.
Well, they're awful. Yeah, they've been awful forever.
I mean, the Bills have been mediocre to coming up short for a long time. But, I mean, you're going all the way back to, what, maybe the Tim Couch era?
Yeah. Who, me personally?
I'm just saying the Browns. And when's the last quarterback they had that was
Baker? Well, Baker made it to the second round of the playoffs.
And they got rid of him, and he did okay with
that's because the people running the Browns are idiots. I mean, that's why they got rid of him. It's just a bad ownership. What are you going to do?
Who do they got at quarterback now? Because that Deshaun Watson thing was kind of
nobody knows. They've got like 5 quarterbacks on the roster. Nobody knows who's going to be the starter.
Deshaun's not on the team anymore?
No, he's still there. So Deshaun's there, Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, and then they also drafted Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders. So they got 5 quarterbacks on the roster.
Oh, yeah, Sanders. He's the hype machine. I don't know. Is all
Baker,
the media graphic?
I wish Baker nothing but the best. I liked Baker. I just think it was stupid to get rid of him, and really had no. I don't even want to talk about the whole thing with them going to get Deshaun Watson was such a huge mistake, and I knew it was from the very beginning, and they'll never recover from that.
I think we got one of your wide receivers. Doesn't Buffalo have EJ Moore now? I can't remember. I think we had a couple Browns cast-offs. Yeah,
you could. I don't know. I don't know. I don't really follow the NFL that much. I watch the Browns games. I don't really watch many games outside the Browns. Whereas like in college football, I watch college football all day long on Saturdays. I'll watch MAC teams play. I just like college football better. I always have. Brad, I'll check it here before I run the duck race.
The UB team is solid for what they are. They're. I just mentioned that because they're a MAC team.
Yeah, Buffalo. Yeah. Well, they had Khalil Mack played there.
Yeah.
So he was an excellent player in the college and the NFL. But yeah, I'm just more of a college fan. I just like it better. All right, Dean. I have entries from Dean from Venmo. And Brad, I got yours. All right, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to set up this duck race. Brian, it's going to take me a couple of minutes as I jump over and fill out these names.
Okay.
John says Amari Cooper. Did you guys get Amari Cooper?
Oh yeah, you know, is he like 100 years old? All I remember from the Raiders, Cowboys, like, you know, you throw it in his hands. We had Amari last year. I don't know if he's still on the team. And it drives me insane when I see him catch because he doesn't catch with his hands. He's a body cradler. And I'm like, catch it with your hands, bro. Catch it with your hands and you're going to grab it.
See,
He was
that was
definitely
important.
the best
There was a
receiver.
guy dropping enough money for your Blue Note.
Oh, that's all. Thank you.
He got two bottles, right? Yeah, so he got two bottles. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, Amari was our best receiver. So I'm going to take a minute here. I'm just going to be entering names into the duck race.
You need a guy in the background doing the work for you.
I
Producer.
do. What's it?
Tom Black.
Old fashioned ways calls them his monkeys. So trained monkeys.
We just incorporated you put Ralph up there. We just incorporated we you know, Ralph is you know, that's his job. I see Canadian Chris is there. Canadian Chris, when I was messaging you, you know, that Mr. Sam, our friend Haas, he wanted that so bad. Mr. Sam dropped in
Toronto
in Canada, and that's like probably the rarest bottles that you can get. Like one of the most rarest. Like you say Mr. Sam, people are like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
and then now Peter White's like, yeah, I got it. I know you were flexing the other night, Peter.
What is Mr. Sam? What is that?
It's Canadian whiskey, and my friend equated it to King of Kentucky rarity Canadian whiskey.
Oh,
And it's in the Sazerac portfolio. If you go on their website, it'll be there. But it's Canadian. It dropped in Canada last week.
we had a friend that has a place down in Florida. He flew down to Florida on a Friday, got in line Saturday, and ended up buying 3 bottles of King of Kentucky from Total Wine.
And I couldn't pry one from him. And for, you know, MSRP are damn close.
Yeah.
Man,
Like,
you know, I've
200
had it.
something.
It's amazing. So I did get the Venmo. I did get the Venmos from Dean and Brad. I heard my wife yell down, check Venmo. I got the Venmos from Dean and Brad. Those are the only 2 I got. So whatever she saw that I missed.
You just came down. You can't leave.
All right. So I'm going to go ahead and run this duck race, guys. I'm going to go ahead over here and set this up.
You like races.
I'm going to share this screen. So I'm going to run this duck race. And it's actually going to be a zombie race. So we are going to shuffle 1, 2, 3.
Who are we rooting for?
It's a dead heat. Usually whoever's last wins.
So it's like neck and neck. These zombies aren't very fast. That's why you can outrun them, right? That's the only good thing about zombies. Fast zombies are completely unfair in the movies.
Dean is going to win. He's last.
Dean has fallen way back there.
He's going to get zombie sprint speed.
Oh, you're right. Here he comes. He's trying. He's struggling. He's in. Oh, my God. From worst to first.
Oh, my God.
Brian's like a psychic.
Wait.
Oh, my God.
Mark D. To win.
Nice. Almost, Dean.
Mark Duffy, you won. So let me know which bag you want, Mark. A, B, C, or D. Let's see what you got.
What's in them? Samples?
Always pencil in C on multiple choice.
Yep. When in doubt, go with C.
Yeah, it is. It's samples. It's 3. Each bag has 3 2-ounce samples.
I want to see what's in the bag. Are we going to get to know or no?
Yeah. As soon as he picks A, B, C, or D.
Hurry up, Mark.
I haven't seen him pick one yet.
Come on. Let's just get it done, dude.
If he left, he's out of luck. Run the race again.
I see. He said thanks. So he's there. He just hasn't given it. D. There we go. D.
We told you, C.
All
Yeah,
right,
can we
let's
just see
see.
what's in C for goofs?
Okay. So this is the AARP blind. Because they're all older whiskeys.
Oh.
It is the Old Fitzgerald Spring 2024 10 year. It's the Old Fitzgerald 10 year.
Okay.
The Old Forester 1924, which is a 10 year.
Is that this year's or last year's?
It is this year's.
Okay.
And Jack Daniel's 10 year batch 2. So three
Very
10
nice.
years.
Very, very nice. What's in C? Or can't we know?
No, because they stay up there, and I just refill.
Okay.
I switch them around each week, though. So, like, whatever's in C now won't be C next time. So,
Then you can tell us.
you want to know what's in C? I'll tell you. I'll tell you what was in C. C was the Booker's blind. Booker's 2020. Last
You
year's
did good,
Booker's
Mark.
Reserve. What's that?
Mark did good.
Booker's Reserves from last year. Booker's
See, now the reserves.
22, and a little book, Chapter 7 was in
Yeah,
that
I'm
one.
a Booker's fan.
So let me ask you this. You probably have, but I'm always thinking like 1970s, and you weren't around then.
I'm 52.
You're 52. Oh, you're
I was around in the 70s.
you're very young looking, or your just picture is really small on the screen. One of
I've
those.
got a great camera. I don't know what to tell you.
Let's make a deal.
Okay.
So you could have like one of those be like have stellar blinds, one have a booby like total trash, and one mediocre, right? And obviously, like someone's going to want to win the Pappies and stuff. And you know how they used to do it? They'd be like, you'd pick like A, B, or C. Say you pick B, they'd be like, okay, we're going to show you that C isn't the grand prize. And then they'd be like, do you want to keep your choice or do you want to switch it to A? Right? So, I mean,
that's the old, what was it? Let's make a deal. Is that what that
yes,
was?
yes.
So,
Yeah.
they say you should always switch.
Yes, it's mathematically proven. It's the Monty Hall theorem.
Yep, Monty Hall theory. Yep. Yeah. I've seen that before. I've seen that whole breakdown.
But you could do that on your show. Then someone would be like, "Oh man!"
You just gave away the answer what to do, though.
They're all going to switch.
Benchmark.
Yeah, you got the benchmark flight. Well, those were good samples. I think those are all the Old Fitz 10 year, 1924, Jack Daniel's 10 year. Those
That's a nice one.
Oh, that's solid.
That cost you a pretty good amount if you had three full size pours out at a bar of those three.
Right.
So.
I gotta read.
The hardest thing about,
I guess it's how much you like it. I mean, RJ's right. Like, if you pick that one and you get these three, you'll be like, man, those are three samples I really want. So yeah, I'm going to hold them. So maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll start putting a booby prize in there and let people decide if they want to pick a different one or not if they don't pick the booby prize.
it's the pressure of, do you want to switch or don't you?
Yeah.
And mathematically, your chances of getting the grand prize are twice as good if you switch.
Yeah, I've seen that breakdown before. I think I actually saw some video on it with some big mathematical query.
Brian's a math teacher. I hate when he does that stuff.
Okay, that's why you're a math teacher. That was my worst subject, by the way.
Yeah, everybody hates math. I know, but almost as much as they hate it.
Stag. This is 22B.
We just did a stag tournament a few months ago, and I think 22A won. 22A is just remarkable.
22A that is fantastic. That is my second favorite stag. My second favorite stag that I have. My favorite that I have is batch 15.
See, I only go back to 18, so I'm at a loss there.
Mark, you've never had Old Fitz? That's actually a really nice one. I like the 10 year. It's got a real nice raspberry note on it. I think you'll enjoy it. It's a good one.
I think I'd like your 10 year better than my 10 year. My 10 years from a few years ago. I think it's the spring of 2023 or 22.
Mine was 24. 24.
Yeah,
Something
mine
along
isn't as good. I think yours is better. When I heard people review the one I got, they're like, nah, not my favorite.
Yeah, I like old fits in general though. I've liked all the ones I've had. I had a drink in the new one, the 7-year that's out. That's supposed to be the Shelfer. A
Right.
friend of mine brought that over. He tried it. I even like that one. So I'm definitely looking to get a bottle of MSRP. Mark, yeah, you'll definitely like that, Mark.
To me, like, you have a lot of bottles. Like, there's only so many bottles you can purchase, and it was good. It's crushable, but I got so many bottles that are at that level that I tried it and I was like, I don't need to get it. You you have Canadian Chris.
Yeah, so he said that's the way you need to get rid of your Wyatt Earp whiskey. You need to do some blind duck races, and it's all Wyatt Earp. So no matter what they win,
No, we got the stupid Wyatt Earp hazmat.
That's what he was talking about. Yeah.
So I already have 2 samples poured out, and we're going to have a couple giveaways on our July 1st giveaway. But it comes in a pack. It comes in a 6-pack. So we're going to sneak that one in there.
That's every bag you got the one bottle. I need to get rid of this bottle. I have like a whole thing of watershed back here. You guys.
That's gotta go.
I learned that from another station. I'm not going to name names, but they let it out of the bag. Yeah, we always sample out the stuff we don't like.
No, I don't do that. I swear the stuff I put in there.
No.
I do good stuff, but
no, that was a good one. No, but I give a mix.
So I'm putting the link in there, guys. If anybody is interested in buying our Blue Note barrel pick and you haven't, there's the link to get it. Yeah. All right. Well, we're a little past 7 now. I do get up tomorrow because we're headed out to West Virginia to go to the Bigfoot Festival. So I'm going to go ahead and get ready and sign off here tonight. She might have been talking to your guest when I was talking about it. Yeah, so my wife and I are headed down to West Virginia tomorrow. We're going to the 5th annual Bigfoot Festival in Sutton, West Virginia. So we're headed down there for the weekend.
That sounds wild.
Yeah, Brad, my trunk has, it's got the sample box. So I carry a box of samples with me when we travel. And when I'm out at a liquor store, if anybody recognizes me from the YouTube channel, I let them pull a sample. I actually got that from RJ. I thought it was a great idea. So
that's cool.
Unfortunately,
I'm only known in Buffalo. And when people see me, they're like, "I know you." I'm like, "Oh."
Well, I've only been recognized like maybe 4 times, so it's not. I'm not that recognized or anything. But yeah, so we're headed down to the Bigfoot Festival. We're going to be down there for the weekend. Looking forward to it. Besides like the bourbon and whiskey stuff, the supernatural stuff's kind of what we like to do. Cryptids. We've done like a bunch of ghost hunts and stuff like that. So, and it'll be the first time I get some footage that's not whiskey related that I'm going to put on the channel because I'm going to be recording while we're down there.
So if you do come to Buffalo, we did this once. What's it? The asylum? Yeah, the haunted asylum. You could actually spend the night there.
You have one there?
Huh?
You have one there?
Oh yeah. I laid on the concrete slab where they put the dead bodies and stuff. Yeah, you can do all that. It's interesting. People got all their, pendants and pendulums and everything.
Donald wants to know if we can have another duck race. I don't know if enough people are interested, Donald. I mean, I guess if you guys want to do another duck race, I'll hang around till 7:30. So, yeah, if anybody wants to do another duck race for A, B, and C, since D is gone, well, everybody knows what's in C now. So for A or B, you got a 50-50 chance in A or B. If anybody wants to do a duck race, that's fine. Yeah, we can do another duck race for bags A or B.
I think I'm just going to send you the Wyatt Earp as a punishment pour.
I've got a couple. I've got some that I've bought that did not come out so good that I could put in a sample flight for that. I mean, when you've got like over 500 bottles, you're bound to run into those, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right, I got to go upstairs.
All right, Deb's leaving us.
All right, nice to meet you. Thanks for having us on.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, but yeah, if you want to do that, Donald, we'll do that. If you guys want to do another duck race, we'll do another duck race.
Oh,
I've got some that are pretty bad too, RJ. Trust me, I've got some bad ones. Mark, you're down. Yeah, so you guys go ahead. So for every $5, you'll get a duck. Anybody who wants to get in on this second duck race, not a problem.
but now they know what's in C. And for C, I got to tell you, the reserves.
Great pour.
That's the one that I heard that was phenomenal.
It is fantastic. It was one of my top 12 last year. I mean, it was in the top 12. It was good. We put it in our end of the year blind. I think it actually won the first round and then lost in the second round. I'm trying to remember what it went up against. It may have went up against like a Heaven Hill 17. I don't quite remember. But yeah.
Yeah. I have a Heaven Hill 20 that I haven't opened, and that's like the redheaded stepchild, the one that nobody wants, but it's mine and I got it, right?
There you go. Yeah, so go ahead, duck races, guys. If you want to get on the duck race, David, I got you. And we'll do another duck race. Just bags A and B, though, since nobody knows what's in those. There we go. Mark, I got you. RJ, HH20 is a 20-year mellow corn. I did try the Heaven Hill 19.
Crapping on my bottle.
I tried to, thank you, Donald. Mark, I got it. I did do the Heaven Hill 19. I've had that. We had that at a pour.
I had an opportunity to get that, and the reviews were good. And a lot of times I watch Jason C, and he's like, it's good, but he's like, for $300, you know.
I didn't think it was worth the price, honestly. I mean,
yeah.
It's good, but it's very one note, and it wasn't worth what they charge for it, in my opinion.
And the proof point, you know.
So my wife said that's a hell of a backdrop. I wasn't watching. What's behind you when you stood up? She must have seen something she liked. Whatever bottles.
We had this conversation off beforehand. You can't see it, but this is just all Pappies and BTAC back here.
Oh, okay, that's why.
Yeah,
yeah, it's a hell of a backdrop.
I got two Pappy 15s, and one I bought from a store, but the other one, my coworker, I actually sold a bottle for him as a fundraiser because he's younger than me. He actually was a student, and he's in his 30s, and he had a disease from drinking, right?
Oh.
So raised and then he had to move in with his parents, and because of medical reasons and care or whatever. And end up selling an old rip through a raffle for $1,000. He made out of it. He was going to sell it to me, and I'm like, listen, I can do better. But he had a Pappy 15 from 2019. It still had the price tag on it, and I bought that from him for, oh Jesus, I want to say $2.25 maybe.
Marty, I got you. We're going to run that other duck race here in a little bit, guys. So if you want in on the duck race, every $5 gets you entry into the duck race.
No, I think I bought it for $300, and I know you can't see that, but this had the price tag on it still.
So $249.99. Yep, I can't tell. I think $249.
Yeah, that's $249.99. This is 2019.
That's a great price for that. I've had the sample of the Pappy 15. I actually like the Pappy 15. I think it was the best of the Pappies that I've had.
I want to open it, but I don't know if I want to have two Pappy 15s open. But yeah, I do want to compare,
year to year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did try. I'm sorry, I don't mean to monopolize. Just say shut the hell up, Brian.
No, it's all right.
My wife's a retired dentist, and at her retirement party, her girlfriend, who was going through a divorce, her husband's father was a big restaurateur. He was actually on one of those Food Network shows. And, all the restaurants have since closed, but, if you have a high-end restaurant, you're going to have high-end bourbons. So he had a Pappy 23 in the house, and she ended up bringing it to the party. The husband, they were still married at the time, but going through the divorce, didn't know. So I got to try Pappy 23, and people crap on it, but I enjoyed it.
I've never had the 23, the 15. I've just had the one sample of. Traub says GTS is greater than Pappy to him. I think in general, I'd probably agree, but honestly, I think the GTS is better than William LaRue Weller. I like the Stags. I guess maybe depending on the batch, but like
right,
some of the GTSs are I think are better than the Wellers to me.
Deb loves the William LaRue Weller. She almost cried when we opened it on the last live stream when we sampled it out, and Dave Vogel sang one.
Oh, there you go.
Who never wins, he says.
Brian, thanks for joining us, Brian. He loves the William LaRue Weller. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying the GTS, I think, can be better. And maybe specifically the George T. Stagg 23, I just thought was amazing.
See, now the 22
was really, really good too.
23 and 24, they're so vastly different. The 23 is like dark and oaky and everything.
Yeah,
and then the 24, the bright fruits are just jumping out of the glass. I like them both.
Mark's never had Pappy. You're not falling for the secondary trap. I don't own a Pappy because I won't pay secondary. I've just had a sample of the 15, and then I've had some friends who have been nice enough to bring the Lot B and the Old Rip 10. And Lot B and Old Rip 10 don't hold up to any of like the George T. Staggs or William LaRue Wellers or any of that. So,
yeah, a couple old rips I got, I paid $150 for, $140, and Lot B's you're pushing $200. And this year the prices increased to like $225. So I mean, it's not MSRP, but it's not insane either.
Yeah, we did a side by side of the 23 and 24, and I liked the 23 better when I did it. Big Dog Whiskey, I saw him post in here. He was actually the one I did we did it with. He brought the 24 over, and I had the 23, and we compared them.
I think I would pay $400-$500 for a 23, but when stores ask $2-3 grand.
No.
Yeah.
That's too much.
I mean, I say that's how much I would spend, but
mine was a lottery win, so it was MSRP.
Right.
You won it in the lottery, but I've not paid, and I've traded. Like I have another GTS that's not open, and I have a handy that is open, but I traded for. But that's because in Ohio I can get Weller Antiques at MSRP, right, and they trade well. So I can take the antiques and turn them around and trade them for some other bottles.
You know what I've never seen in a store is SAS 18. I talked to owners and they're like, we've never seen one ever.
RJ, you're saying a Pappy is $10,000 in your area? That is ridiculous. That's crazy.
Okay, RJ, I'm going to hook you up. I'm going to buy one for $1,000. I'll sell it to you for $2,000. No, I mean,
David, you're the only one in Ohio that drinks your antiques. I've got them open right there, and I got a bunch of empty water bottles or empty bottles I put water in that say you're not the only one. I just also buy them to trade.
What I'd like is I don't have any picks of Weller. I've tried them and they're interesting. I'd love. Sometimes I go on the Facebook groups that have like raffle things off, and those will be the ones that I gravitate towards. I do have a stag pick that I won once, which was interesting. Those are the things that interest me.
Yeah, so RJ's saying he spent $10,000 at a store. I guess probably it sounds like to get points so he could buy a bottle. That's still insane. I don't know. I see they are like you could go buy a bottle. I know, like I go down to Kentucky and I could get a Pappy for $2,000. I could just spend on the Pappy. I wouldn't have to buy everything else. Yeah. And you can get George T. Staggs now for like $700. They've kind of come down. They're like $600 to $700 secondary. But yeah, like I said, I mainly trade for them.
Yeah, I mean, there's a store by me. I think they have a GTS for $600, and I'm like, I'm stopping in every month. Like, drop it down.
Come down a little bit more. Yeah.
Like 400 would hurt, but 400 would be like, I think I could do
Jesus
400.
RJ. Oh my God. That's insane. That is an insane number.
RJ, I don't want to know how much I spend.
Ralph wants to know if you have a Buffalo distilling bottle on the bar. I'm not sure what that is.
Okay, so this is Ralph actually gave this one to me. This is last year.
That's why he brought it up.
And it's a wheat whiskey, but this year's version is older and sweeter. It's much tastier. Not the crap on the bottle you gave me, Ralph. I do appreciate it.
Dean, I got your entries into this duck race. Thank you. You were talking about Weller store picks. Are you talking about like the antique store picks and foolproof and stuff like that? Yeah, I like those too. I actually have one open. Here, I've got an antique pick here. And I have tried it head to head with the regular one, and I do like the pick better.
They're different. Like, they each have their, well, I mean, I can't speak to your pick, but they have their redeemable qualities. I'd love to have a foolproof pick.
Right? That's a lot of money, Brad. I'm with you.
I'd say I spend probably a little over $1,000, probably pushing $2,000 every month. Like, I'd have to look at it. So then when you project that out, you're looking at, over 20 grand.
I don't think I spend that much on just bottles most of the time. But if you started to add in things like travel for the trips I do, because we're down in Kentucky a lot, all the barrel picks we've done and stuff like that, it definitely goes over that. So if it's just straight bottles, I'm probably more, I don't know. I don't want to track it, but it's probably closer to like 400 or 500 for just the bottles. But it's all the trips, because we take so many trips that really it costs a lot when you're in hotels, traveling, and all that stuff. So, foolproof pick for $90 is definitely a good price though. For a Weller foolproof for $90, a store pick. That's a good price.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I passed, my buddy had a friend in Boston, and there was a Weller foolproof pick for $150, and I'm like, no, I can't do $150. But then afterwards, I'm like, listen,
that's kind of right on the edge.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, why don't you buy a couple, and then we could, we could, trade it off or whatever. We could recoup our losses somehow. You know what I mean? But that ship had sailed.
You spent $600 on bottles today. I hope you got some good ones. Of course, that could just be 2 bottles, depending what bottles they are. I mean, I've done that. We've done trips where, I went to Kentucky and we ended up coming home with 24 bottles. I know we spent a bunch of money, but I tend to do more like large buys, like when we travel or something like that, than I do just like daily buys. So I buy more in groups. All right, guys, last call for a duck race. If you want to get in on the duck race, $5, every $5 in chat or Venmo, and you'll get an entry into the race.
Deb bought 2 suitcases, and she lined them with foam. So they're going down to Austin empty. And we're going to see what we come back with.
Yeah. I'll put empty boxes in my trunk. Well, you're probably flying down, I'm sure. I like
flying down.
Yeah, I don't like to fly. So like when we went to Colorado last year, we actually drove cross country. So I spent like 3 days driving to Colorado and then like 3 days coming back. And we just did like a 2-week road trip. And we stopped all along the way, different distilleries, liquor stores, and all that, along with other stuff we were doing. And I came home with like 4 cases, of bottles. We picked so much up along the trip. So
Kentucky's a long enough ride for me. My old ass in that car, and I don't care how much room there is, just sitting that long just kills my body.
I don't mind driving. I can drive. I will literally drive 12, 14-hour days. I'm okay with that. As long as I stop every once in a while and do something, I can get back in the car and drive. I like driving. I don't have a problem with it.
I'll drive. I got to be really good, but it's nerve wracking when I drive because this is Deb in the passenger seat, and I see it out of my peripheral vision, and it freaks me out. It's not worth me driving. I have to be like an ultra awesome driver.
Okay. No, I don't mind the driving. We did, like I said, when we did our cross country trip, it was 9-10 hour days every day, and I was okay with it.
Oh man.
A 1792 12-year, that's my favorite 1792. Actually, think 1792 is a little underrated. People never talk about it, and some of them are hard to get, but I like 1792. I like pretty much all the offerings, and the 12 year is my favorite of them.
I like the sweet wheat, and everyone hates on that one.
I don't hate it. It's just very caramel. It's not very complex, but it's not bad. And I mean, the price is right. It's like $48 or whatever it is MSRP. So it's good if you get it at cost. Right? And that's the same with a lot of bottles. A lot of bottles are great at MSRP, just aren't not worth the secondary that you have to get them sometimes.
It's another one of those bottles. I think it was, what was it? The Calumet 18, the higher one.
Mm-hmm.
Store read it for $4.50. I don't care if it's $50 on their MSRP.
Mm-hmm.
It's still a lot of money.
Yeah.
And I'm not a Calumet 16 fan, so that's a hard sell, even though I do love Barton juice.
Yeah, I do think the 12 year is better than the sweet wheat, RJ. I agree with that. But as far as I just got this cognac finished 1792. I've not had that yet. When we were talking about the price, like for MSRP, I saw where a Weller Millennium ended up selling for like $5,000. And they're like what, $7,000 MSRP, and now like
right.
People buy them and are trying to flip them, and they're having to sell them at a loss because they were priced so high.
It's crazy. Speaking of deals, I don't know if I don't think the Remus Gatsby. I think it's still going for $250 in Ohio.
Yeah, I don't think it's worth that personally. I've had it. Wasn't that impressed.
I don't know if it's just Buffalo or if it's dropping nationwide, but stores in Buffalo are selling it for $145, $150. So when I saw it for $145, I'm like, I'll take it.
That's a much better price for it. Yeah, it was definitely higher than that here.
And then there's another one that I got a good deal on, and I would have never bought it. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it. The Milam and Green, The Answer.
I haven't had that one. I've had some Milam and Green, but not that specific one.
But it's a good concept. It's 2 375s, same juice, same age statement. One is aged in Bardstown, one is aged in Texas. So you can compare and contrast. And it's going for $150, right? I found it on the shelf for $80. I'm like, I'll take it, right? Anytime I can, So
that's a good price, Brad. Yeah. Brad said he got his Kentucky Owl Batch 12 for $100. That's a good price for the Kentucky Owl, the batches.
So. That's crazy because I see stores still selling it for $200, but when I was coming back from a lottery, there were stores selling it for $90 or $100. So how can these other stores sell it for that price?
They sell it for whatever they want. I guess they figure they can get it. I don't know. When I see some of these bottles for $900 for a Weller single barrel, and it's been sitting there for 6 years, and they're still not going to lower the price. I mean, I don't know what they're doing. My wife, we were in Tennessee. We went down to Gatlinburg after we did a barrel pick. The next morning, we got up and went down to Gatlinburg, and we stopped at this liquor store along the way, some little town in Tennessee. And they had an Old Forester 1924 for $400. And my wife said, "That's ridiculous. You'll never sell it." She flat out told the person behind the counter that. And she was like, "Oh, I'm not the owner." I was like, "Well, whatever. That's not ever going to sell."
Well, I talk to people, and there's two things. One, a lot of these people, they go online and they look, and they see these websites that are selling it. And I try to explain to them, these are secondary prices. You're a retailer. And then sometimes they give you the answer, I don't care what it should go for. Someone from out of town is going to walk in and buy it. And I'm like, you're I can't say that word, but
I've talked to some of the store owners in Kentucky when I've asked them about their pricing, and they've said, well, that's what it goes for online. And they're talking about secondary prices. I'm
right.
like, well,
Yeah, and you
people
try to
online,
explain that to them, they don't understand.
yeah, they're not driving to your store to get it at that price. They're doing secondary pricing. Normally, there's somebody shipping it to them and stuff like that. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, like
Last call for duck race. If anybody wins it on the duck race, every $5, I'll give it a couple more minutes. I'm going to set that up and run it.
you can't talk reason to a store owner, you know.
No, not certain ones. You can't.
Yeah.
That's for they and I think it's going to hurt them a lot here with like really that bubble is kind of bursting. I mean, you're still going to have bottles that are really desired are going to be higher than MSRP, but they're coming down. And then there's a lot of the stuff that was kind of on the edge of being stuff like your East Taylor single batch or small batch and stuff like that. Your Blantons are being widely distributed now. They're producing a lot more of it. They're putting it out there, and you can't charge those prices anymore. People got to start coming down on them. You can't charge $200 for a Blanton's anymore. There's too much of it being sent out. So,
I went to this one store. I never did business there before, and we were having
RJ just read his comment. That's funny.
And I was having a conversation with him on Messenger on Facebook, and you know, Jack Daniel's 12. I said the highest I would pay was $150, so I got that for $150, which stung a little bit, but not too much, right? And then you know, he had a 14, and he's like, "You got to come in and talk to me about it." So when I go in there, he's like, "Okay, what would you pay?" And I'm like, I said, and
you should have said $150. That's MSRP.
and I'm gonna kick myself because I've done this a couple times, and then when the owner says okay real freaking quick, you're like, oh man, I screwed up big time. And you can't back out of it once you throw your number out there. I think they got it for $50 less, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I try hard to just wait until I can get stuff at retail. I would rather go stand in line for a while, honestly, than I would pay like 6 times the price or whatever, or something stupid. And I have fun standing in line. So I know a lot of people complain about it, but if you're in line for 2-3 hours with other people who really like bourbon, you can talk to them and have a good time and show photos, and I turn them on to my channel and stuff. So I don't mind standing in line. It doesn't bother me. As long as we're talking a reasonable amount. I don't like the 10-12 hours. That's too much. But
I didn't mind standing in line at Heaven Hill because I got the William Heaven Hill 13, and I think we got there at 4:30 or something. So
Ralph, I got you.
I mean, like the last time this one store, they varied from how they were doing their, you know, it was first come, first serve. There was people standing outside the day before at 7 p.m. in January in Buffalo. I'm like, you're freaking kidding me. Like,
yeah, I mean, you got it. Yeah, that's ridiculous.
I mean, come on, you know, January in Ohio is similar to January.
Yeah, I know how cold it is here. I know it's colder up there. You guys get more than us, and we get plenty enough snow. Yeah, no, for sure. I don't mind standing in line. It can be fun. Speaking of Heaven Hill, I have a funny story. So the guy I normally do the channel with, Devin, he's been to Heaven Hill maybe 5 or 6 times and waited in line. They've never handed out at any time when he was. This is before they announced what days they were handing out. This was like over last year. Right. So he went 5 or 6 times and they never handed out on the day he was there. And we have a video on our TikTok where he's like third in line. He's been there since like 3 a.m. And the guy from Heaven Hill opens the door and goes, "We don't have anything today," and slams the door. And that clip has like 100,000 views of them like opening up the door and yelling at him. It's pretty funny. So the running joke in our group is if Devin goes to Heaven Hill, don't go that day because they're not going to have anything.
That's hilarious. Yeah, like when we went, Deb was tracking everything, and we were there. We're like, please don't be Elijah Craig 18. Please don't be Elijah Craig 18. We were just going to leave and turn around. But the Heaven Hill 13, which we haven't opened yet, was there.
I've picked up old dusty bottle label turkeys from them cheap. I don't know what he's talking about. Must be talking about some store. I have several of the 1970s decanters that I've picked up from estate sales that have been unopened, where I got them for like $25-30. So those are fantastic. I've got a couple of Beam, and I got one of Old Fitzgerald from Stitzel Weller. That was really good. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get this duck race set up here, guys. I'm going to run this duck race. I'm going to share the screen. And this is for bags A and B, since we already said what was in C. I'm going to shuffle, 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 and this is the monster race.
Look at that. Dean's in back already. Look at that. I can pick the loser.
Look at that. Donald took out to a quick lead. But here comes Ralph trying to catch up.
No, Ralph, you're done.
Oh, no.
I'm going to put my money on Marty.
You got your own Marty?
Yeah, he's
Marty
slow
won
and
a couple
steady.
of races with me before, so
He's
wouldn't be
lagging,
surprised.
but he's going to... Come on, Marty.
Oh, Dean's taking the lead by a nose. T-Rex by a nose. Well, there goes Marty. Marty's pulling ahead.
Uh-oh.
Oh, nope. There goes David. David with the T-Rex with the win. All right, there you go.
People are going to hate on me. Don't pick the winner, they're going to say.
Yeah, you keep jinxing them, huh?
Yeah.
You're so close. You're always this close. All right, David, let me know A or B. Which one do you want, A or B? Bag A. All right. Let's see what we got in this one.
That's a Buffalo Trace bag. I can't help myself. I got to guess.
There's a Buffalo Trace in it.
Okay.
So this is a single barrel bag.
Okay.
It is Blanton's Gold single barrel. John J. Bowman single barrel.
Nice.
And a Penelope 10-year single barrel. So a single barrel flight. There you go, David. Congratulations. The rigged. Mark says, you won the last one, Mark. That's the one that had to be rigged, right?
So let me ask you real quick. A few weeks ago, my wife's friend was down there, got us a Weller Antique. That same week, the A. Smith Bowman dropped. Did you get lucky with that?
I have one. Yes.
I got last year's.
Super excited to get it. I've wanted one for a long time, and that's the first time it's ever dropped in Ohio.
This one?
Before. Yeah, this one that just dropped a couple of weeks ago. It's the first time it's ever been in Ohio.
139 proof. That sounds...
Yes. 139.3, I think, or 0.7. 139.7.
Don't you just want it to be an extra 0.3 higher so you get that hazmat?
Right. Yeah, 139.7, 10 years. So
Nice.
I'm super excited for that one when I open it.
I got last year's and mine's down like that far, and I just got it a couple months ago.
I love John J. Bowman, so I've got a lot of high expectations for this. So those were some good samples. Yeah, those are all three of those are good bottles for sure.
In our 100 proof tournament, that the John J. Bowman, that is a strong contender.
I imagine it is. I'm a big fan for sure.
And you know what was surprising to me? I haven't had it since it came out. Is the Bardstown Bottle and Bond? I haven't had it since I bought it.
I'm not as big a fan of that one. The only Bardstown I've had that I really like is the Weeded.
I wasn't either, but when I tried it in the blind, I was like, "Oh, this is really good."
Okay. All right, guys. So one more time, if you're interested in our Blue Note pick, if you have not bought one, here's the link, and you can go out there and this is our whole bottle shop. Any 3 bottles you put in there, you get half off shipping. If you order 6 bottles, you get free shipping. And I do try to keep my prices like below what you would see other places having them. The bottles I do have access to. So, if you want to give it a shot, try our Blue Note pick out there. All right.
And I'm going to say, you mentioned it earlier, once you go there and you put it in the cart, do continue shopping and see what other bottles they have. Because there's some really interesting stuff when you like get your whole cart, what I would do is get a bunch of friends together so you get free shipping. That's what I would.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I did. I know a lot of people around here. We ordered in some groups and make sure everybody had more than 6 bottles. Ordered in the group, so everybody got free shipping.
Right.
But the bottles I put in the bottle shop are really stuff that we can't find, at least here in Ohio and probably in Kentucky. I don't see very much stuff like Rebecca Creek. We don't see, what's some of the others like the Blanton's Gold, the Blanton Straight from the Barrel are hard to find. They're a little pricey, but you're only looking like maybe $30-$40 over MSRP. Some of the hard truth stuff that we can't find here in Ohio. And, I kind of base it around my market and what can I get if I walk into a store and what can I not get. And I'll put it for sale. I'm
going to tell you, in Buffalo, $200 straight from the barrel, people are jumping on that all day. So when I saw it for $185, $186, I'm like, oh yeah.
Go to my website. Yeah. Even with shipping, it's right around $200. If you only get one and pay shipping, you're still right around $200. So
yeah.
All right. Thanks for joining me, Brian. I appreciate it. It was not guys. Go out and check Buffalo Bourbon Enthusiasts if you haven't already, and check out their channel. I know you just dropped a video today. I saw like a Weller Antique there in the flight we did. So
the dusty versus the new one.
Yeah, that's what it was. The old one versus the new one. Yeah, I haven't had the old one, but I did see your video earlier today. All right, guys. So check out their channel if you haven't already. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next week. And until next time, remember, the best bourbon or whiskey is the one you like the most.
All right, take care.